Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Charles E. Clough again from the Center of Awakening Consciousness at the Church of Truth, speaking to you from our sanctuary, which has been newly renovated, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll be live streaming so that you'll actually see the persons with the music and we'll be able to live more like a normal service. But we're glad to be somewhat of a part of your life and hope that some of the things we share are stimulating and helpful for your spiritual growth and development, and hopefully for ours too. When I was a seminary student, and it was probably one of my homiletics classes, the professor said that when we speak, we should have the newspaper in one hand and the Bible in the other. In other words, whatever religious topic that we were going to discuss or bring out should have something to do with people's everyday life and what was going on with the everyday life of the folks that we're sharing with. And I've never forgotten that. The only difference is no newspapers anymore, of course. This would be the internet and so on. And I'm not locked into the Bible anymore. I think there's so much beautiful stuff in the Bible and in other spiritual literature. But the real listening to that we have now that he kind of didn't mention is our understanding of the presence of God within us. I think it's parallel to the emphasis on the Holy Spirit that the conventional Christian church has. What they call the presence of the Holy Spirit, which we understand is the Holy Spirit too, is also the personal presence, personal presence of God within our lives. God is a part of us, and we are part of God. And that's such a special thing to believe and think about. So many things are happening. People who had been dreaming that President Trump was going to bring in this new America concept are surely disappointed with what's happened. Those who are able to see that it's just not going to happen are having to change their thinking. And when you read some of the things that are said by senators who believed in Trump, who were supportive of him, they're having to adjust their ways of thinking about him and what's happening. But there are others, believe it or not, who still, up to the inauguration, believe that Trump's going to be the president that continues into the next 4 years. They're tenacious hanging on like a pit bull on a fanny. It's not unsimilar to other things that are believed and held on to by religious persons and political persons, and really just some of the attitudes we find so hard to let go of. I've mentioned before that there are some groups of people that are parts of religious branches of some major religious denominations who have believed that as this new year came in, there were going to be some very special appearances of very high-level God beings that were going to come in, and we'd all hear them over the television, and there would be some way they could speak to all of us. And these outside persons would come and help straighten things out. The conventional Christian church has believed for centuries that the Jesus they know and experience and believe in, who was such a great God person, is coming back The Bible, there's a verse that talks about him promising he'd come back. And even in the earliest century, they thought, the earliest generation actually, they thought he'd come back. There were people who sold what they had, gave up what they had and everything because they thought his return was imminent. And that's continued throughout the centuries. And there are people in our current history who have thought that from the outside was a word that said, now is the time. And they've sold their things and they moved even to different places where they thought that would happen. Why do people believe so strongly things that don't happen? A lot of times someone will say, how do you know whether you can trust prophecy or not? That's a simple no-brainer. If it's legitimate, it happens. If it's not, it doesn't happen. Everybody knows what is or isn't legitimate by just simply watching what did or didn't happen. When someone says to me before New Year's that there are spiritual beings that are going to come and really help our world be better, and it doesn't happen, then it's simple to say, hey, that message was wrong. We constantly need to remember that those on the outside are trying to figure things out too. But the reason people grab hold of things like that, whether it's believing in the second coming of Jesus or the time of enlightenment that Buddhists think about so much and are looking toward and working toward and thinking that they may be where that might be something that happens for them. Why do people hang on to things that kind of don't happen when they think they would? Because of hope. Everybody's hoping that things will get better. That's what it is, it's hope. When things aren't real good, when the world is kind of in turmoil, and always has been in some places, that's why there's always these different ways of thinking that indicate there's maybe some place to have some hope. People hoped that Trump would help America really be great. That's what he always said. The people who believe there are special persons coming, they want these persons to come because we need the world to be better. And you know what? We should probably never, ever try to destroy someone's hope. As long as it's something that's not hurting anybody and allows people to go on with their normal lives, because we do have to do that. If somebody hopes something's going to happen, we need to just say, hey, that would be a good thing to have happen. I'd like that, just like you would. So that we don't have to work against something someone believes that gives them some energy in terms of anticipating a better future. We want a better future. Everyone wants a better future. Do you know why we do? Because this better future is built in us. The presence of God inside of us knows how good things can be. There are some of us maybe who have come from the better ways things have been. Others of us who come from the reincarnation side somehow see that things can be better and we're reaching toward that. But all of us are looking and working toward that which is better. So one way is to kind of explore different ways to believe about that. But we're all going to have to wait for that better and be a part of that better happening. Some of the better is occurring because there's this outside dimension is working and moving. They're trying to help us too. I believe that. So they're doing things that are going to maybe help our situation get better sooner than later. But there are things that we have to be a part of getting better. There's a lot of getting better that depends on our getting better. And this is where we get down to the kind of persons we are and what we put into the world, the kind of energy, the kind of love, the kind of kindness and faithfulness and helpfulness. Every person that puts out this good is a part of helping the world be better. We are a part of that better. When we see these giant spiritual persons that have come and been a part of our world and have inserted some tremendous antibiotics to the negative. We have people where their faith and their belief has been a shot within a society to help the society look at different things and the way things could be better. Monday I had the vaccine for the virus. We have 3 weeks till we have the other one. We need a vaccine shot from God. We need the spiritual side to kind of swarm us like physicians with spiritual needles to kind of stick everywhere in society some energy toward good and toward change. My goodness, we need that. But whether it happens anywhere else, we are in charge of it happening here. Isn't that a great thing? Whether the things happen elsewhere we wish would happen and think might happen, whether these things occur or not, we still can make things occur that are a part of the influence we have. We can occur in the places we are. Now that's super. And God is in each one of us to occur and happen in us. A lot of hope will never happen until the now produces that future hope. We're a part of that now. As individuals, as families, as groups, as congregations, we're a part of that. And you know what? It's exciting to join God in that venture. God is happening, and He's happening in and through us. And the more we attune and join consciously the things God is doing, the more we'll experience it with God. It's happening whether we notice or not, but when we're attuned with the Spirit and attuned with God, we're a part of feeling and being conscious of the happening that's going on because God is everywhere doing something and it's working toward the good. Thank God for that. How wonderful that is and that we're a part of it. We look forward to the things we can do to bring God closer to everyone and to enhance the coming of what we call the kingdom of heaven. But it's just where things are good. And we all look forward to that. God bless you. And so it is.
You can try to turn tide. You can rage against the rain. If you try to fight a fire with fire, the flames will rise again. So don't try to stop the world. Don't push against the pain. You can't defeat the hate with hate. It'll bounce right back again. Just keep standing, standing, standing on the side of love. Yes, we're standing, standing, standing on the side of love. You can pull against the wheel. You can lean into the wind. Every time you go to war with war, you lose the more you win. So let your light shine out till the darkness disappears. Turn it up so bright it floods the night, and a brand new dawn appears. Just keep standing, standing, standing on the side of love. Yes, we're standing, standing, standing on the side of love. Wear your heart on your sleeve and just believe you're already taken care of. There's no other side when love is your guide. So stand on the side